Chapter 1. Hayden's POV. I was sitting in my office, doing paperwork and lost in thought. I just found out this morning that my beautiful mate is pregnant. Suddenly, my beta's voice broke through my mind. Alpha, Mr. Michael and his family just arrived. I replied with a quick, "Be right there," before shutting the mind link. I received Mr. Michael's request to transfer to my pack a few months ago. He was one of the best warriors in his previous pack, so it shocked me that he wanted to transfer. My pack was one of the strongest, so I set aside my confusion and decided to meet up to begin the transfer process. While walking down to meet Michael's family, something kept bothering me about them. Although he is a great warrior, I have done my research on him, and he has transferred to 5 different packs in 3 years. This is strange because wolves are pack animals and typically prefer to stay with their packs. They become protective and attached to the people in their pack. When I made my way to them, I saw a bulky, strong, scary-looking guy. Well, he would appear intimidating to most people, but not to high-ranking pack members. He was standing next to a woman, whom he assumed was Carla, with a wicked look in her eyes. I glanced at my beta and saw he had a very unimpressed look on his face. Behind the couple on the steps was a beautiful little girl, I guessed to be about 3 years old, with long, pitch-black hair and strikingly blue eyes. A strange yet perfect combination. Her skin was white, giving her an overall appearance that resembled an ideal porcelain doll. My beta, Alex, finally spoke up. "Alpha, this is Warrior Jacob and his girl." Alex gave me a strange look while saying girl, but continued, "Ms. Carla, and behind them is their 5-year-old Alana." My eyes widened a bit at the 5-year-old part, but I quickly composed myself. She did not even look 4 years old. She was so tiny and fragile. The Michaels gave me a quick nod, and I signaled them to follow me back towards my office. We weren't even walking for a minute when I heard an "mph" behind me and turned to see little Lana trip and fall. She quickly looked up, and I saw her trying to hold back her tears. I turned to see Mr. Michael looking mad at her, like smoke coming out of his ears, mad. I did not understand this. Why mad? At who? It was an accident. Why aren't they helping her up? I was about to go to her when I heard a little growl behind me. Before I can even process what is happening, there is another growl, mine, and a little tanned, brown-haired ball, running past me to the girl, pulling her to him and cradling her like she is the only thing that matters in the world. It took me a few seconds to process what I'm seeing. If I weren't seeing it with my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it was true. I didn't even know it was possible. But here, right in front of my eyes, is my 6-year-old son cradling the beautiful little girl, his mate. Chapter 2. Elijah's POV. I am in a terrible mood today. Mommy asked if I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. I didn't even know there was a bad and a right side of the bed. I just got out of bed to get ready for school. But I didn't tell her that, I just ignored her and went on with my day. At school, my best friend and future beta, Xander, wanted to play during lunch break, but I wasn't in the mood. We have been friends since I was born, so he knew something was wrong with me today and didn't bother me. I don't know what's wrong with me either today. I didn't mean to be in a bad mood. Something, a feeling in my mind, keeps bothering me today. And now I also feel bad for ignoring my mama today because she packed my favorite cheese sandwich for lunch and added an extra juice box. I love juice. Mama and Daddy call me a juice junkie, but I don't care. Even alphas can drink juice. I see Daddy drink juice most mornings with breakfast. And that yucky red stuff they say is made of grapes, most nights with Mama at dinner. However, I tasted it, and it does not taste like grape juice to me. But they like this so-called wine. I'll stick to regular juice, thank you. The rest of the classes after lunch were just as dull as the ones before lunch. The only reason I still go to school is because my daddy says I will need it to be a good alpha. And that is how I interact with my fellow pack members. I don't feel very interactive today. After school, my ghost-like body drifts back to my daddy's office. Sometimes I go there after school, and then he or his Delta, Caleb, walks back home with me. I can see some of the pack pups playing around as I walk back to the pack house. I don't bother with them too much today. Just a hello or hey every once in a while. Got to remember my manners. While walking, I spot my dad, his beta, and some other people I don't recognize, and start making my way towards them. When I get closer, I spot the prettiest girl I've ever seen, and my mood is instantly better. She has this black hair that goes all the way to her bum. And even from meters away, I can see her sky blue eyes. She looks so tiny, but she is the perfect size. Suddenly, she trips over a rock and falls. I sped up instantly to reach them faster. As I get closer, I smell the most amazing scent ever, vanilla like my favorite cake, and strawberry like my favorite milkshake. I'm almost at the group of people, and still no one is trying to help her up. I can see that she is holding back some tears, and I hear this slight growl. It took me a second to realize the growl came from me. I've never made that sound before. Rather than helping the pretty girl, the people just stood there. What is wrong with them? I growl another, mine, before I am right by her side in seconds. I'm sure I've never moved that fast. I scoop her up and hold her tight in my arms. I feel her whimper and flinch a bit, so I loosen my grip, but I don't let her go. I keep her cradled to me, and she starts to tighten her tiny arms around my waist. After a few minutes, I look up from her pretty face to see all the adults, even my daddy, just staring at us. I growl at them, and they look at each other, shocked. I look at the pretty girl in my arms and whisper to her, "Hello, pretty girl. My name is Elijah. You're okay now. What's your name?" Her little angel voice also replied in a whisper, "Hey Elijah. My name is Alana." I pull her a little closer to my body and mumble, "Pretty," into her hair, because she is the prettiest angel on earth. Chapter 3. Elijah's POV. I held little Lana as close as possible without hurting her. I looked up at the adults, my eyes meeting the two strangers, and they gave me a disgusted look. I didn't let them bother me as I looked at my daddy with big pleading eyes and said, "She's hurt. We need to help her." He started walking towards us, and a growl involuntarily escaped my lips. He held his hands up in surrender and told me, "Son, I can't help her if you don't allow me to come near her." "I'm only going to help. It's okay." Hayden's POV. Elijah nodded his head slowly, and I went closer and bent down in front of them. "Hello, Lana. Are you okay? Where are you hurt, sweetie?" I said in a tiny voice, not to scare her. I can see the tears building up in her eyes again, and Eli pulls her closer to calm her down. I've never seen anything like this before, but I'll comment on that later when both the little munchkins in front of me are back to being happy kids. I see Alana glance towards Mr. Michael with big eyes, and I look at him too. He looks angry. Tense? Something is not right. Alana looks back at me and whispers, "I'm okay. I will be okay," as if she's trying to convince herself more than me. Eli gives me those big pleading eyes again. I slowly lift my hand and brush a loose strand of hair out of Alana's face. I see her flinch slightly, and I know something is not right. She is not just shy, she is scared, terrified. I mind-link Alex. "Take those two to my office, something is off. I have a bad feeling about this." I'm taking the girl to the doctor so they can check her out. Glad I'm not the only one who got that feeling. I'll keep a close eye on the so-called parental. Link me when you have news. Alex replies as I see him explain something and lead them away. I scoop Eli up in my arms, with Alana still in his, and start walking to the PAC hospital. Alana whispers, "What's happening?" While Eli runs his hand up and down her back, whispering back, "We are going to help you." When we enter the PAC hospital, people are staring at us, wondering why I'm carrying the two pups, which are on top of each other. But I don't let them bother me, and neither do the pups. As I round the corner to Dr. Martin's office, my mate stares at me with wide, terrified eyes, thinking something happened to her pup. I give her a small smile, indicating everything is fine. And she starts walking with us, looking confused, with her eyebrows scrunched together. I walk into Dr. Martin's office and put the pups on the bed, and they instantly cuddle closer to each other. I can see shock on both the doctor's and my mate's faces, so I open a mind link between the three of us to explain to them that they are mates. Yes, more shock from the two ladies in the room, and I can see tears forming in my mate's eyes, so I pull her to my side and hold her. Then I asked Dr. Martin to do a complete checkup on Alana. "Hey Alana, Dr. Martin didn't get to say anything else or move closer because another growl left Eli's lips, leaving the ladies stunned. Elijah Gray Stevens, you do not growl at the doctor. A chuckle escaped my lips at my mate's scolding while Eli had a guilty look on his face. She gave me the scary don't mess with me mate look, and I had to explain, baby, she is not the first person he's growled at today. She gave me big eyes and whispered, he growls now. Which just made me chuckle more. Yes, I'm a big, scary alpha who chuckles when around his mate. With a mate bond, a lot is possible. Dr. Martin explained to the pup that she was trying to help and had to check that Alana was okay. Eli refused to let Alana go, so in the end, they settled on holding hands so Dr. Martin could do her work. When Dr. Martin finishes her checkup, Eli returns to cuddling Alana while Dr. Martin comes over to talk to my mate and me. Alpha, it is not good. She has been abused. Chapter 4. Lila's POV. Alpha, she's been abused. Those words keep repeating in my mind as I look at my son holding the tiny pup in his arms. From the look on her face, she is very content to stay here in his arms forever. Her eyes were starting to get heavy, and she was about to fall asleep. I put a hand on my tummy. I won't ever let anything bad happen to my kids. How can parents allow that? I still can't believe my baby boy found his mate. He's only 6. I am happy for him, but I was supposed to have 10 more years of being the only woman in his life. I look at my mate and see him trying to stay calm. He turns towards me and buries his head in my neck and inhales my scent to calm himself down. He whispers into my neck, baby, you take the pups home and get them something to eat and ready for bed. I'll be right there. I just have to take care of her so-called parents in my office. We've been mates for years, and I still get that lovely feeling in my tummy when he holds me close. All I can do is nod. He gives me a peck on the lips, turns, and leaves. I turn to the pups to get them to head home. Hayden's POV. People should be glad my mate was near me to calm me down a bit. That girl is so small and innocent. I mind-link Alex, get 4 guards to my office, and keep an eye on Mr. Michael and his girl. That sweet girl has been abused. I'll be there in a sec. I don't even let him reply before I shut the mind link. Not even a minute later, I'm storming into my office, not even caring to look who else is inside. I walk straight up to Jacob Michaels and spit the word explain. Both his and Carla's faces turn into a sneer, and he says, I don't need to explain anything to you. I had to use every bit of strength I had to keep calm, and I can sense the same goes for my beta. It is against the law to hurt innocent wolves, so unless you want to die right here, right now, I'd explain if I were you. My voice came out calm and deadly. I can see Jacob's Adam's apple bob from nerves. She was a mistake. The little brat was never even supposed to be born. I was supposed to have a son. A guy like me deserves a strong son who would be the perfect warrior. All the little bitch wants to do is play in the garden. I open my mouth to speak, but Jacob continues, her mother was happy she gave birth to a daughter. How can someone be happy to give birth to a little, good-for-nothing? So I got rid of her and got me a woman who wants a boy. A woman who wants a child that would change the world. I looked at him and his woman with disgust. I can't believe he just said that about his daughter. And he killed his mate? How can someone even do that? I turn towards my beta, get them to sign over their guardian duties. There is no way I'm ever letting them near little Lana ever again, and take them to the cells. I'll start the paperwork to send them to the Blood Moon prison in the morning. No. I turn back to look at the 2 screaming people behind me, who are being held in place by my guards. I am an asset to your pack. I am a great warrior. You can't send us to the Blood Moon prison. That is the worst prison out there for werewolf kind. If you're such a great warrior, I'm sure you'll survive between those bloodthirsty werewolves we put there. Because it is exactly where you belong. With that said, I left my office and went back home. As soon as I got home and opened the door, I heard screaming coming from upstairs, and I made my way upstairs as fast as I could, every possibility of things that could have gone wrong running through my brain. Chapter 5. Alana's POV. I've never felt loved or safe in my life before. As long as I can remember, I've been called a mistake. Mr. Michaels, yes, I had to call my father, Mr. Michaels, and Carla always said I was never supposed to be born. They said I'm not strong and that I'm a brat. I am not even allowed to have fun. I only went out to play in the garden when I knew they were away, or they didn't think I was outside. I love gardens, flowers, and butterflies. The only other fun thing I did was read. I had a few books that the pup sitters gave me that I hid in my room. Otherwise, I have to clean up the messes they make, take their things to their room, and wash the floors. I get thrown around, and Mr. Michael would hurt my back if he were mad, drunk, in a bad mood, or just felt like it. Every time someone at a pack got suspicious of how I was treated, we would move to a different pack. They kept telling me, "We are just keeping you around until Carla gets pregnant, and we have a perfect boy, then we're dropping you off somewhere in the woods." I was not happy with the move to Alpha Hayden's pack. I had a secret friend in my old pack. And when I tripped over that stupid rock, the pain from 2 days ago hurt so bad, and I knew I'd be in trouble for making a scene. So when I heard the little growl and was suddenly pulled into a hug, I felt a mix of emotions. First, pain and confusion, and then, strangely, warmth, love, and safety. I didn't know what love and safety were, but I'm sure that is what it should feel like. And I never want to let go of it again. But of course, the lady in the long white coat said I had to. So Leja said he will let go of my body, but he won't let go of my hand. But as soon as the crazy lady was done sticking things in my mouth and looking at things on my skin and listening to weird things, I cuddled back into Leja's warmth and safety. After a while, Alpha Hehe left. I wasn't scared of him so much anymore because Leja said it was his daddy and he was helping us stay safe. Eventually, we went home with Leja's mama. She didn't say much. She just kept looking at us. When we got to the house, I had to work hard not to run up and smell all the pretty flowers. The garden was so big and lovely. I wonder if I will be allowed to play in this garden. Leja's mama made us some chicken strips to eat for dinner. I've never had those. I wasn't allowed to eat a lot before. They said that my eating was a waste of their money. I don't even know what money is. I was sitting on Leja's lap, and he was waiting for me to take the first piece of chicken. But it burnt my fingers, so I pulled back quickly and put my fingers in my mouth. Leja gave a big gasp while his mama kept saying, "Sorry." So for the rest of the dinner, Leja made sure the chicken was cold enough so I wouldn't burn, and he was feeding me between bites of his own. When it came to bath time to get ready for bed, neither Leja nor I was thrilled because his mama said we had to let go of each other completely. After a few minutes of arguing between Leja and his mama and some threats about taking his juice away, and she promised it was only for a few minutes, we are separated into our bathrooms. Leja's mama introduced herself as Lila, and she helped me get a bath ready with some lovely bubbles. She gave me all these nice scented soaps, and she helped me wash my hair while I popped the bubbles. She gave me some of Leja's clothes to wear and told me she would get me some girl clothes in the morning. However, I didn't care to wear his clothes because they smelled like him. After the nice hot bath, it was time for bed. And a whole new argument started because they wanted us to sleep in different rooms. I am not leaving Leja for a whole night. We were clinging to each other, and the argument got a bit loud, and before I knew it, a loud "no" escaped my lips. Next thing I know, Alpha Hehe is in the room with us, looking at us with big eyes, and tears were falling down my cheeks. Chapter 6. Hayden's POV. What is going on in here? Everyone suddenly went quiet and turned towards me. My mate and my son both looked furious while Lana cried. Now I wish I hadn't come home so soon. Maybe I would have missed the drama. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make trouble. The little girl gets out between tears and hiccups, while Eli pulls her closer to him and gives his mom the mad look. I quickly bend down in front of her and softly tell her, "It's okay, sweetie, you're not in trouble. Lila and I are going outside to talk. We'll be back in a few minutes." With that said, I stood back up and led my mate outside. "What happened, baby?" I can see the frustrated look on her face, and I take her hand in mine and rub circles on her knuckles. Ugh, I don't want to be the bad guy, but I told them they can't sleep in the same room, and they lost it. I didn't think our mate, relationship, sleepover, whatever you want to call it, speech would be given this soon. I keep rubbing her knuckles while she rambles. He is our baby boy. Why does he have to grow up so fast? And they were apart for bath time, and she seemed fine, but they refused to leave each other alone. He was even feeding her our 6-year-old baby. I'm not ready for the mate speech. When she is done rambling, she falls into my embrace, and I hold her for a few seconds until she feels better, thinking about everything she said. Mate speech? Feeding her? Baby, they're going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. We are going to take it day by day. Can we give them the speech tomorrow? As for tonight, we can make some compromises for them on the sleeping arrangements and then figure everything out tomorrow. It's getting late, and he will always be your baby boy. Alana seems like a nice girl. I pull her back to me and kiss her on the forehead. I love you, baby. Now come on, let's go figure out the sleeping arrangements. With that said, I gently pull her back to the room and open the door. With the light coming from the hallway shining onto the bed, we can see the 2 pups already in bed, cuddled up and asleep. They are both semi-facing each other. Little Lana has her head on Eli's shoulder, in the chest area. Eli has his arms wrapped tightly around her small body, as if he let go of her, she might disappear. Eli's head is buried deep inside her long black hair. I look to the side to see my mate with an involuntary smile on her face, deep in thought. I leave the room quickly to get a juice box to put on Eli's nightstand like we do every night, just in case he gets thirsty. When I get back to the room, I see my mate standing next to the bed, leaning over and giving both the pups goodnight kisses on the forehead. I put the juice box down, do the same, and lead my mate quietly out of the room. Always give your kids goodnight kisses, whether they are awake or asleep. With that, we get ready for better selves, reflecting on the day's events and considering what the future holds for everyone. Chapter 7. Elijah's POV. Last night, after Mommy and Daddy left the room to go talk, I could see my little girl getting tired, but the tears kept running down her cheeks, and she kept saying, sorry. I gently pulled her to the bed and pulled the covers back. Let's get into bed, baby girl, no one is mad at you. You don't have to be sorry. She nodded and got into bed. I got in next to her. I pulled her comfortably close to me. Go to sleep, baby girl. She just nodded and mumbled a good night. I gave her a goodnight kiss on the forehead. I didn't want to fall asleep. I just wanted to hold her and protect her, but my eyes got so heavy. When I woke up, I was so happy she was still in my arms. A little more on top of me than last night, but still in my arms, so I don't care. She looks so peaceful in her sleep. I'm trying to move as little as possible not to wake her, but then I spot my favorite juice next to me. I'm so thirsty. No, I don't need to drink that juice right now. After a few more minutes of just staring at the pretty girl in my arms, she begins to stir and wake up. I don't know if I'm happy or sad, but I'm still going to hold her when she is awake, just probably not so close. No, I'm happy she is awake. Now I can look into those perfect blue eyes, and it feels like I'm swimming in happiness. She mumbles, "Good morning, Leja, I'm thirsty." Thirsty. I can help with that. Without thinking twice, I take my juice box from the table, open it, and give it to her. After a few seconds, I realized I had just given her my favorite juice. I never share my juice with anyone. I didn't even realize it, but I must have looked at the juice longingly, because next thing I know, she turns the juice box and pops the straw in my mouth. I take a long, big sip. I have never been this happy in my life. I will always share my juice box with her and no one else. Then I realize Mommy and Daddy are at the door, looking at us. They make us get up and ready for the day because they need to talk to us. Luckily, we don't have school today because it's a Saturday. After we are dressed, we make our way downstairs for breakfast. I eat as slowly as possible because I'm not ready for the talk, but of course, they tell me to hurry up. So now we are sitting in the living room, my parents in front of us and my little girl in my arms. Mommy is the first to start speaking. Babies, do you know what mates are? I reply without a doubt, yes, it's our soulmate, the love of your life, your other half. You're right, son, we want to talk to you today because you and Alana are mates. I look at my baby girl and my heart instantly swells. No one has ever found their mates this soon, so it is new for all of us, so we are going to have to make some rules. My face drops at the rules part. I hate following rules. I'm the future alpha, and I make rules, but I don't follow them. But I see Lana shyly nod, so I listen. Rules? Okay, so we know you don't want to let each other go. I look at Lana and pull her closer to me. I can already feel that I am not going to like this rule. But you are going to have to let go of each other sometimes. Yep, I was right, I do not like this rule. Son, you still have to spend time with your friends, and little Lana has to make other friends too. Other friends? What is wrong with Daddy? She does not need other friends. You still have to have your weekly sleepover with your friends. That's a nice rule. Those are fun. Little Lana can join. She is also my friend now. And then living and school arrangements. Little Lana, you will never have to live with those terrible people again, okay? I see tears in her eyes, and she nods while mumbling thank you. Lila and I were talking, and we are finding you a nice home. Finding? She can stay here. No, son, she can't stay here. She can visit a lot, but she can't stay here. We spoke to Caleb and his mate. They live right next door. They don't have pups yet, and they will let her live with them. Caleb? The Delta? They are nice, but I want her to stay here. We are not arguing about this, son. It's final. They are excited, and they have already started making her a pretty room. You can visit a lot. It is close, and it is for the best. Can he always read my mind? I look at my little angel, and although she seems stressed, she seems willing to try, so I nod at my dad to continue, but I do not wipe the angry look off my face. Now for school, we already enrolled her so she can start on Monday. I look at my dad suspiciously. There is something he is not telling me. She will be in my class? He sighs, no son, she can't be in your class, she is younger. Now I am angry. No, she has to be in my class. She is smart. She can do it. I will help her. If she is not in my class, I am never going back to school. My parents glance towards each other and slowly nod. Okay, we will see what we can do. If she is smart enough, she can be in your class. I look at my angel and see a nervous look on her face, so I whisper, don't worry, you're smart enough. And I will help you. Always, I hug her closer, and she relaxes and nods. Now, get ready. The boys are on their way for the sleepover. It is here tonight. Chapter 8. Alana's POV. He wants me to go to a big school with him? What if I'm not good enough? Will he be unhappy with me? I want to make him happy. He is so lovely. I've always liked reading, and the pup sitters in my previous pack said I was smart. I don't know about big school math, but Leja said he would help me, and he looks smart, so that I might be fine. And I've never heard of this Caleb person or his mate, but Leja won't let me live with horrible people. I trust him. I'm not sure I understand the whole mate thing yet, but Leja seems to understand it. I guess that's all that matters. Loud noises at the door brought me out of my thoughts. Next thing I know, 5 very loud, hyperactive boys came running into the living room where we sat. Leja stood up and happily gave each boy a bro hug. Then he quickly waved at the adults at the door and turned back to me, taking my hand back in his own and smiling at his friends. Guys, this is Alana, my mate, he said with a $1 million smile. Baby girl, this is my best friend, Xander, my future beta. An AA boy with black hair and gray eyes nodded at me. And then there are the twins, Aiden and Aaron. They are the Gamma's children. 2 identical-looking boys with blonde hair and blue eyes gave me big smiles and waved. This is Charlie, my cousin, but everyone calls him Chubbs. I looked towards Chubbs, who gave me a mocking salute. He was a bit overweight compared to the other boys, with brown hair and eyes. He was the clown of the group. And lastly, this is Sammy. He is one of the Omega's sons. And Omega is the lowest rank in the pack, but it didn't seem to bother these boys. You could see they loved their friend no matter what. He was smaller than the other boys, with light brown hair and eyes, and he had a cute dimple when he smiled at me. I shyly waved at them, and they all seemed nice. They decided that we are all going to the nearby swimming hole for the evening, since the weather is great. The twins said I can borrow their sister's swimwear. And Chubbs went to grab a picnic basket his mom packed for the trip, while Xander got towels and blankets. The walk to the hole wasn't that long, and the boys kept making jokes and playing all the way there while Leja and I walked hand in hand. Once we got to the swimming hole, I was amazed. It was so beautiful. There was a waterfall, and the water was cleaner than I expected. Chubbs was the first in the water with a big splash, followed by the twins and Sammy, while Xander just rolled his eyes. It looked fun, so I started removing my clothes to put on my swimwear and get in. When I heard a growl behind me, I turned around to see all the boys with their backs turned to me and Legia smiling innocently at me. We all got in. We played and splashed each other with water for what felt like hours until Chubbs got hungry and I got cold. We had a picnic with sandwiches, drinks, and lots of sweets before heading back home before it got dark. Home. I already think of this place as home. My so-called parents are long forgotten. When we got back home, all the adults were outside laughing and having fun of their own. We went inside, put on some dry clothes, and made ourselves comfortable in front of the TV. Well, that was until the argument started over what to watch. I wanted to watch Frozen while Chubbs and the twins wanted to watch Spider-Man. Legia chose Frozen as well, which shocked the boys because he loved Spider-Man. Sammy also said he would watch Frozen, which left the final decision up to Xander. Legia wasn't allowed to use the future alpha card on his friends to get them to do something he wants, so instead he promised Xander cake to choose Frozen, leaving Chubbs and the twins very disgusted when he agreed. Auntie Lee brought us more snacks just after the movie started, and I'm sure Chubbs ate half of them all by himself. Legia and I were cuddled up on one couch, Sammy and Aiden on the other, and the rest of the boys were on a mattress on the ground. At some parts in the movie, I was laughing my butt off. Watch out for my butt. It's so cute. It's like a baby unicorn. I can't feel my legs. Olaf is the best. I was getting sleepy during the movie, so with one last thought, I drifted off to La La Land. I love warm hugs. Chapter 9. Alana's POV. Today is the day I meet Caleb and his mate and move into their house. And to say I am scared would be putting it lightly. What if they don't like me? What if I do something wrong? I'm a little terrified. From now on, I will be Legia's neighbor. Will we still see each other a lot? I put on some clothes Auntie Lee gave me and slowly made my way downstairs. The first time Legia's parents heard me call them Alpha Hey Hey and Auntie Lee, their eyes grew big, and I thought I had done something wrong. I couldn't move. Until they both let out a big ah and pulled me into a hug. I've never gotten many hugs, so this all was very new to me, but I love it. Hugs are now my favorite. When I got outside, where they were all waiting for me to walk next door together, Legia pulled me to his side and started walking while whispering, "I'm here for you, always," which made me relax. He will always be there for me. I didn't even notice we were at the door when it suddenly opened. A tall, big, muscled guy stood there. He had shoulder-length blonde hair, with the top pulled into a bun. If it weren't for the smile on his face and Legia holding me, I would have run away. The man held onto a short, petite lady with long, braided brown hair. At least they look friendly. The man bent down, but he was still taller than I. "Hey, Ladybug, my name is Caleb, and this is my mate Sophia." I blushed and smiled at the same time, whispering, "I love ladybugs." He gave me a big smile and reached out to pick me up. Just as he touched me, Legia growled. We all turned to look at him while his mama hit him on the back of the head. What did I say about growling at people? Caleb just started laughing and continued to pick me up while Legia mumbled, "Sorry. Let's show you where your room would be." When Sophia heard you were coming to stay here, she went out and bought you a few things. He walked with me on his hip upstairs, put me down in front of a closed door, and gestured for me to go in. As soon as I opened the door, I gasped, and tears filled my eyes. It was beautiful. It had lots of pink teddies and toys. I had my desk with coloring books, pens, and everything I would ever need, which I had never had before. I had my bookcase filled with books and a nice reading couch. It was just perfect. My whole life, all I could remember of my room was my bed, which was a terrible brown color, an old dresser, and the books I hid under my bed. I've never even had a teddy. My tears wouldn't stop flowing, and they were mistaken for tears of sadness. Legia and his parents were arguing about me moving back to their house when someone bent down next to me. Oh, sweetie, don't cry. Everything you don't like we can change. I knew I should have gotten princesses. Girls love princesses. Now I'm starting to see it. It's all wrong. We could change. I cut her off, surprising us both a bit by giving her a big hug and crying into her shoulder. The whole room got quiet, and I whispered, "It's perfect, so perfect. I love it so much." Thank you, thank you, thank you. She held me tight in her arms, and I could feel her starting to cry as she whispered back, "You're so very welcome." Caleb's POV. Everything about this sweet girl came as a shock to all of us. When Hayden told us about her and asked Sophia and me if we would let her come live with us, we didn't hesitate to say yes. Sophia and I have been trying to have pups for years, but something always went wrong, which made us sad. We've gone to the doctor, and he's always said he can't see a problem. But every time it happened, I could see and feel a piece of our happiness breaking away forever. After Hayden came to talk to us, Sophia was over the moon. She immediately insisted that I take her shopping so we could buy the little girl everything she needed and more. She doesn't want to get anything wrong because Hayden said they were unhappy with the move. She is afraid to leave Eli and wants to stay with him. I think Sophia went a bit overboard with the room. We don't even know what the girl likes yet, but I couldn't say anything. She was so happy. The morning before they arrived, she was so nervous that she dressed and redressed what felt like a million times. She made us get up at 4 a.m., as if they wouldn't come until way past 7 a.m. Still no complaining, just saying. She got ready and, as expected, we were way too early for them, so she settled for walking up and down and staring out the window like a creeper to see if she could see them coming. When she finally saw them, I had to hold her tight in my arms to make sure she didn't get overexcited and scare the poor girl off. She looked so shy, but when I called her a ladybug and she smiled, my whole world turned upside down. She loves ladybugs. Ooh man, she is going to have me wrapped around her small pinky. So when I picked her up, one thought crossed my mind. Maybe I should be the one being held back, not my mate. I did not realize how much I wanted this little girl in our lives, or how excited I was. No, when she started crying when she saw her room, I thought my heart stopped right then and there. We just got her, we can't lose her now. Everything zoned out until I saw her hugging my mate. I could finally breathe again. Hayden and his family left us alone so we can get to know the little ladybug, after a lot of convincing from Eli that she will be fine. We were all sitting in her room, just talking while she was playing with her bunny. There were a few more tears shed. But my new favorite sound in the world is my ladybug and mate's joint laughter. My new family. Chapter 10. Alana's POV. Today is my 6th birthday. I am so excited. Mommy and Daddy are throwing me a big birthday party. Yes, I started calling Caleb and Sophia my mom and dad a few months after moving in with them. The first time, it just accidentally slipped out. Caleb was tickling me, and I didn't even realize I said, "Daddy, stop." He abruptly stopped, and that's when I realized what I had said. But he looked so happy, so I just continued calling him Daddy. I saw that it bothered Sophia when I only called Caleb Daddy, so I started calling her Mommy too. The first time she cried, she was very emotional. Back to my party. Mommy and Daddy said a special girl like me deserves a special party, and they invited everyone. I've made some friends of my own and Leja, and the boys allow us all to join their sleepovers. I quickly got tired of it always just being me and the boys. The first friend I made was Mila. She is the twin sister. She is the only friend my age since I'm in a class full of older pups. Nina and Jessie are my other friends. They're both in my class, and they are so lovely. Besides our weekly sleepovers, he and I are almost always at each other's houses. He is still the best friend. He convinced/blackmailed Alpha Hey to build a little bridge to connect our windows, so now visiting is even easier. When I got outside, I saw people already arriving. There were balloons everywhere, a bouncy house, and everything. Just as I saw Leja walking up to me, I felt someone tap my shoulder. I turned to see Dan, who was a new boy in our class. Leja didn't like him, I don't know why, because he's always been nice to me. "Happy birthday, Alana, I got this for you." I looked down to see him holding a present with a nice big bow. Just as I was about to take it and thank him, someone tackled him to the ground, accidentally knocking me down in the process. Tears fill my eyes as I see blood flowing out of the hand I landed on. Leja, stop. What are you doing? Xander pulls him off of Dan while my daddy pulls me up. That's when he realizes that I fell as well. Now tears are freely flowing down my face, and I can see regret in Leja's eyes, but he ruined my party, and he knew how excited I was for this party. It's my first birthday party ever. My daddy takes me inside to bandage my hand and help me wash up. He tries to cheer me up by saying, it's not a party if something unplanned or unexpected doesn't happen, but it's not making me feel any better. Why? Why would he do that? He looks deep into my eyes, wiping my tears away. I don't know, Ladybug, you're going to have to ask him. Maybe he got a little jealous? It could be a mate bond thing. He would not have hurt you intentionally. Stupid mate bond, the words slip out of my mouth, and as soon as I said them, I hear something fall at the door. You don't want to be my mate anymore? I can see the regret in his eyes and the struggle to hold back his tears. I'll leave you pups to talk for a while, my daddy says, and he makes his way outside. It was an accident. I didn't mean to get mad. I just wanted to give you my present first. And you know I don't like Dan. He is always extra friendly with you, and he has lots of friends. He doesn't need you too. You're mine. I understand if you don't want to be my mate anymore. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your party and hurt you. I look up from my bandaged hand and whisper, I still want to be your mate. He released a big breath he was holding and pulled me into a hug, whispering, I'm sorry. I pushed him away from me. And no more tackling people, mister. I know Auntie Lee said no growling, but I much prefer you going around growling at people than tackling people. He gives me a mischievous smile and pulls me into another hug, whispering, I love you, baby girl. I instantly relax in his embrace and whisper back, I love you too, Leja, before pushing him back yet again. Now what is this tackle-worthy present I just had to have first? I say with a big smile on my face, everything is long forgiven and forgotten. His eyes turn big as he looks back to where he dropped it when he entered. He quickly ran back to get it and handed it over with a big smile. I open it and I gasp, Leja, it's beautiful, I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm never taking it off. I gently swipe my fingers over the pretty butterfly necklace. It is the perfect gift. My mommy comes into the house and tells me that most people have arrived, including all my friends, and are waiting outside for the birthday girl. Yes, I pulled the you ruined my birthday card while barely anyone had arrived yet. For the rest of the party, I stick to my friends, Leja, and the boys. I did not see Dan again. When it was time to blow out the candles and everyone sang happy birthday, my heart felt complete. I had the perfect family and the perfect friends. I have grown so much since I moved to this pack. And the whole time while people sang happy birthday, my mom was crying her eyes out, saying, she's growing up so fast. Chapter 11. Alana's POV. Leja has been acting strange all day. Months have passed since my birthday, and so far, everything has been great and back to normal. But since I saw him this morning, I knew something was off. We walked to school together, but unlike how he usually is, he said nothing, just held my hand. And it's been like that the whole school day. During lunch break, I asked him, Penny, for your thoughts, because that's what my mom usually says to my dad when he looks deep in thought, and then he tells her anything and everything on his mind, so I thought it might work. But I just heard him silently say after a few seconds, do you have a penny? My face turned into a frown in disgust. I didn't know you needed a penny. Mommy never gives a penny. So I just mumbled a no and looked down. After a few seconds, I looked back up. But I do have one last cookie left, I said. But he just shooed. Before I could retrieve the cookie, I grabbed it and popped the whole thing in my mouth. I give him, or rather my cookie, an immense, longing eye. I oughtn't to have wanted it, he says with a mouthful of cookie. After school, Leja went straight home, saying he had to do homework. I know he's lying because we always do homework together after school, but I didn't say anything. I know he is hiding something from me. I want to know what? He usually tells me everything. So I had to do my homework all alone. And afterwards I went to play in the gardens. Not much playing in the garden if you ask me, more like sitting on the grass, poking my fingers in the ground. When Leja is in a bad mood, I feel bad too. I've been sitting there for a few minutes when I saw Leja walking to me with a determined look on his face, so I jumped up with a big smile. He walked up to me but didn't stop. He kissed me on the lips. He has kissed me before, but never on the lips. Usually it's on the forehead. I just stood there, eyes big. He had an equally shocked look on his face, so he turned around and ran back to his own house. I don't know how long I stood there, frozen in my spot. Elijah's POV. Ever since yesterday, I couldn't get what the bigger high school kids said out of my mind. I went to the pack house to see my daddy. Mama sent me to get him because it's his turn to give my baby sister, Belle, a bath. But when I got to the pack house, I bumped into some of the high school kids. They usually had something mean to say about me and Lana. Daddy says to ignore them because they do it. After all, they're jealous that I already found my mate, and they haven't. This time, they kept saying Lana and I aren't real mates because we don't kiss on the lips like real mates do. One of the older kids even kissed his mate to show me. I just walked away and pretended they didn't bother me, but it did bother me. Were they right? Were mates supposed to kiss on the lips? So the whole next day, I couldn't get the thought out of my mind. I couldn't focus on anything else. I could see my little angel knew something was wrong, and it was bothering her, but she didn't push me too much to tell her what was going on. So after school, I went home, gathered all the courage I could, and just walked up to her and kissed her on the lips. Her lips were so soft. I saw her eyes get big, and my eyes got big, and all the courage I had before slipped away, so I ran home as fast as I could. Why would I listen to those stupid high school kids? Stupid. What if she never looks me in the eyes again? During the rest of the day, she came knocking on my window a few times, but I couldn't open it. My mama came to my room to ask if everything was okay, but I just told her I was tired. Of course, she went all over protective mom on me and had to do a whole temperature check and what felt like an entire doctor's checkup, so she was sure I wasn't getting sick. Late that night, as I sat in bed, I heard another knock on my window. I held my breath, hoping she would go away. Then I heard her saying, "You can't hide from your mate forever," and I knew she was right. So, I got up and opened the window. I got back into bed, and she got in next to me, quietly, not saying anything. So I started telling her everything that happened yesterday at the pack house with the high school kids. By the end of my story, she was laughing so hard that tears were streaming down her cheeks. You listen to. To the high school kids, she said between her laughter. They always say the stupidest things. Why listen to them? You kissed me, she said, still laughing her little butt off. You kissed me back, I felt your lips move. Saying that made her stop laughing, and her cheeks turned crimson. We are never kissing again. Never? She can't mean that. Was it that bad? I'll be better at it when I'm older. I promise. With that, another laugh escaped her lips. I mean not until we are big. But I am thrilled you are my first kiss. I am so happy she was my first kiss. I felt her kiss my cheek and lay her head on my chest. I kissed the top of her head and decided that is the way I will kiss her until we are bigger. With her in my arms, I peacefully fell asleep. She is my mate, and we have all the time in the world to figure out how to be mates. I am not listening to those stupid high school kids again. Chapter 12. Alana's POV. I lie in bed with tears streaming down my face. What is going to happen to me now? Today is the worst day ever. It started well. Even though Leja and his family went to visit a different pack this morning, I was okay. I went and played at Mila's house. I played in the garden. I was too busy to miss Leja. Because Alpha Hey is gone for the day, Daddy was extra busy with pack work. He didn't come home until dinner, and that is when everything went all wrong. Caleb's POV. Today is the best day ever. No matter how much work I have to do, or what crosses my path, nothing can wipe this smile off my face. Throughout the day, some pack members asked about my happy mood, while others teased me. But I'm keeping my mouth shut until we can tell my ladybug the great news. At dinner, my mate had everything set up to tell little ladybug, even some cupcakes to celebrate. I could see her eyeing us suspiciously about our happy mood, but she didn't say anything. Typical Lana would never say or do anything to ruin someone's good mood. After dinner, it was time to tell her the good news. I took her hand in mine and, with a big smile, I spoke. Ladybug, Sophia is pregnant. We're having a baby. I can see tears forming in her eyes. You're having a baby of your own? I gently smiled. Yes, we are. You're going. Before I could finish my sentence, she was running off to her room. I turned in confusion to my mate. Not happy tears? She looks at me like I'm dumb. Did they look like happy tears to you? We have been trying so hard for a baby, but why isn't she happy? She is always happy about everything. She loves babies. Why was she sad? I pulled my mate into my arms and held her in my arms, and with my werewolf hearing, I could listen to my little girl's sniffles coming from upstairs. Great! I'm in a house full of crying women. Baby, you better be a boy. Daddy needs backup. When I finally got my mate to calm down and was peacefully sleeping in bed, I made my way to my little girl's room. I stopped outside the door to listen, but all I could hear was some shuffling and sniffles. Goody, she is still awake. I made my way inside to see her crying and packing a bag. Ladybug, what are you doing? Why are you crying? I love you and I don't want to leave. Where am I supposed to go? She looks up at me pleadingly through teary eyes. Leaving? Why are you leaving, baby girl? You're having a baby of your own. You don't want me anymore. So that is what this is about. I start unpacking her bag while she stares at me. Where does this crazy 6-year-old girl think she is going this time at night? You're not going anywhere, Ladybug. She looks up at me with big eyes. I'm not. I pick her up, take her to the bathroom to wash the tears off her face, and get her ready for bed. So much for eating celebratory cupcakes. I sit with her on the bed, rubbing her tummy soothingly. No, you're not going anywhere. You're going to live here with us until you're big enough to live in a house of your own. She looks up at me, but you're having a baby of your own. You are our baby, too, which means you're having a little brother or sister of your own, too, just like Eli. Her face lit up in excitement, and then immediately turned to disgust. Disgust? What is up with the women tonight? Leecha said that after Belle was born, she cried a lot and left stinky poops. Will my little brother or sister be like that? A laugh escaped my lips, probably Ladybug, and she looked at me with a cute, scrunched-up face. Go to sleep, Ladybug. Eli is coming back tomorrow, I said, kissing her on the forehead. I knew talking about the little man would lift her mood, and looking at her face, it did. It still feels strange to me to think about my 6-year-old daughter already having a mate. But it is fantastic to see how they treat each other. They put some of the grown-up mates to shame, showing them how to be proper mates. Before I could stand up from her bed, she grabbed my arm. Daddy, where do babies come from? I looked at her with big eyes, choking on air. Where do babies come from? I remember saying something about bunnies, flowers, and maybe bees, and made my way out of the room before I could embarrass myself more. Yes, I confused her more, and I'm hearing about it again tomorrow. I already know it. And I was right. The next morning, when I walked into the kitchen, I saw my mate making breakfast, and suddenly my ladybug asked, Mommy, where do babies come from? I asked Daddy, and he said something about bees, flowers, bunnies, and gardens. I don't understand. Gardens? What did I say to the poor pup? My mate looked at me with big eyes while I gave her a guilty look. There's no point in trying to deny it now. When two people love each other, and they are ready to be a mommy and daddy, there is a wizard that gives them a magic seed that the mommy takes, and then the baby grows in her tummy. I look at my mate in amazement. And all I could come up with is gardens, bunnies, bees, and flowers. My little ladybug gets up and rounds the corner to look at my mate's tummy. Hello, baby, she says, patting her belly. I get a mind link telling me that Alpha and his family are back. As soon as I mention Lana, her face lights up like a Christmas tree, and she takes off running towards the door, Sophia following close behind. She runs up to Eli, jumping into his arms, with her little arms wrapped around his neck and her short legs wrapping around his waist. If it weren't for Hayden helping Eli to stay on his feet, he would have gone flying backwards, falling straight to the ground. I'm going to be a big sissy, I hear her telling Eli excitedly. He was not even gone for 2 days, and she is not letting him go. I pity him when they are older and fully mated, when he needs to leave her for alpha meetings. But he looks very comfortable with her wrapped in his arms. Chapter 13. Alana's POV. Another pack's alpha is visiting our pack today. He wants to talk to Alpha Hey about some problems in his territory. While they were busy, Lija and I were babysitting our brother and sister. It was our very first time babysitting them all alone. I want everything to be perfect. I was playing with cars on the floor with my little brother Elliot, while Lija was on the couch, tickling Belle because she wouldn't say his name when he asked, "Who is the strongest man in the world?" She just kept saying "Daddy" between laughter. Suddenly, we heard a loud howl from outside, followed by an alarm. I've heard about this, and Alpha Hey and Daddy made us practice what to do when it happens, but it's never happened before. The pack is under attack. We all start making our way to the door as fast as possible. Lija is looking out the window to see if it is safe for us to go outside to reach the safe room. Allah, we turn around to see my little brother with tears in his eyes, wobbling towards us as fast as his little 2-year-old legs can carry him. Lija walks to him and picks him up while I grab Belle's hand. We will need to walk as fast as possible. My heart is beating out of my chest. My hand is holding on to the back of Lija's shirt as hard as I possibly can while we walk. We get to the most challenging part of our trip to the safe house, the open field. For almost 100 meters, we have to run without any cover or anything to hide behind. When we are almost in the middle, 3 giant wolves are standing in front of us. Rogues. They have ugly red and black eyes and scars everywhere. Lija hands Elliot over to me and says, "You have to run, baby girl," but I can only shake my head. I can't leave him here alone. One of the rogues started walking closer to us, licking his lips. And tears threatened to come, but I can't cry now. Lija starts running towards the rogues. And then something happens that leaves both me and the rogue shocked, frozen in place. Hayden's POV. Alpha Xavier is in my office along with all my highest-ranking pack members. We are discussing the current rogue problem he has been having in his territory. When we hear the pack is under attack, I look towards Caleb and see the same worry in his eyes. "The pups are home alone," I say, concerned. Luckily, our mates are away, having a ladies' day, but that leaves the pups all alone. I made sure Eli and Lana know what to do in a situation like this. But practice is nothing like reality. We make our way outside. Pack elders and women with their pups are making their way to the safe room. They linked from the safe room. Young Alpha and Luna are not there yet. I see Alpha Xavier confused to hear that we already have a future Luna, and on my side, Caleb is already in wolf form. We start walking towards them, killing all the rogues we find along the way. My beta left to help the rest of the pack while we look for the pups. It didn't take us long to find them standing in the clearing. A rogue is slowly making its way to a scared-looking Lana with the smaller ones, while 2 rogues are chasing after a puppy. A dog? What is that? We are next to them in seconds, killing the rogues. Caleb stands protectively in front of the pups while I turn to, not a puppy or dog, a small black wolf. My son. How? Impossible. He lies down and looks up at me tiredly. The first shift takes a lot of energy. I make my way to him, bending down to pet him on the head. "You have to shift back, buddy," I say softly while a big yawn leaves his. He slowly nods his head and starts shifting back. I pull my shirt off and over his small body and pick him up in my arms. When I turned around, I saw Alpha Xavier with a shocked look on his face. "Don't worry, man. You're not the only one shocked right now. Caleb, I have to take Eli to the hospital. We don't know the consequences of shifting this early. Bring the other pups along. They'll be safe there." He nods his head and bends down in wolf form for the 3 pups to get on his back. When we get to the hospital, the pack members look at me, carrying a sleeping Eli with worry. While the doctor is checking Eli, Alex comes up to me, telling me that the last few rogues on the pack territory just fled. "Alpha, besides shifting at such a young age, everything is normal. He might be tired for longer than normal wolves after shifting. His wolf must have sensed his mate being in trouble and surfaced early to protect her. Physically, he will be fine after some rest." The doctor said, and I nodded gratefully. Eli will be fine. He just shifted to protect his mate. How am I going to tell my mate that our son shifted into his wolf? She was already emotional when he found his mate because, and I quote, "My little boy is growing up too fast." She is not going to like this. We take the pups home so they can rest after the long, stressful day. We then call our mates to get them to come home so we can explain everything. The pups are all upstairs when Sophia and Lila get home. We explain everything to them, the rogue attack and the shift. Tears are streaming down their faces, so we take them upstairs to show them their pups are fine. When we get to Eli's room, we see him and Lana in bed, snuggled up together. No matter how hard we tried, they still found a way to sometimes sleep in the same bed, cuddled up together. We lost hope and sometimes allowed it, as long as it wasn't every night. But what caught our attention was Lana. Pieces of her black hair turned white. Chapter 14. Elijah's POV. My whole body feels heavy. I imagine this is how it feels to get hit by a truck. I'm just so tired. I slowly open my eyes to see I'm in my bed. Not even 10 seconds later, my little angel comes walking through my door like she owns the place. She hasn't even realized I'm awake, but as soon as her eyes land on me, her mouth drops open. She runs up to me, jumping on my already tired body, but I welcome her with open arms. "You're awake," she keeps repeating as if trying to convince herself. I try to speak, but my throat is dry and hurts. When was the last time I had something to drink? I whisper to her, "Thirsty," and she nods. "I have juice for you." She picks up a juice box and shakes it a bit. Empty. Throwing it to the side. She picks up another one, also empty. By the time she gets to the 5th empty juice box, she looks up at me shyly. "You were asleep for a long time," she whispers to me, tears forming in her eyes, while holding a bottle of water. I guess she drank all of my juice while I was asleep, and now she only has water left. She should be glad I love her. She drank all my juice. I take the water from her when she downs half the bottle. Luckily, I remember the rogue attack and shifting into my wolf. I just had to protect my mate. "How long was I asleep, baby girl?" I look up at her, a tear sliding down her face. 2 days, she mumbles. 2 days? Wow. Now I look at her properly, your hair. A big gasp left my mouth. Does it look bad? I look at her, taking in her black and white hair. No, you could never look bad. What happened to it? I don't know. I woke up like this the day after you shifted into Wolfie. I love how she calls my wolf Wolfie. I agree, someone else says. Who said that? How do they know what I'm thinking? It's me, your Wolfie. We have the best mate. Can I talk to my wolf now? This is awesome. Why are you looking like that? I look up at her, realizing I zoned out while talking to my wolf, and she has been staring at me. I'm talking to my wolf, I can do that now. She looks at me with a big smile. I know, it's amazing. It's like having someone to talk to all the time, she says excitedly, but they can get annoying sometimes, she whispers, like that would help. And she realized it didn't help because her eyes went wide, and she covered her mouth as if she had just said an adult word. You can talk to your wolf? You shifted? When? I asked her, shocked. Why isn't she as tired as I am? She looks up at me, a little ashamed. I didn't shift, but I can talk to my wolf. I've been able to since my hair turned white. I was so confused and scared at first, she says with a frown on her face, but it is instantly replaced with a smile. She is so nice. Her name is Anna. Anna? It fits her so well. Does my wolf have a name? Can my name be Wolfie, please, please, please? That's what my mate calls me. It's perfect. She is so smart to think of that name. Wolfie? I don't think that is a real name or appropriate for an alpha. Stop being dumb. It's perfect. It's perfect. Now hug, mate. She smells so nice, like vanilla and strawberries, my favorite. I internally roll my eyes at him. I guess Wolfie is delicate. He likes it, and my angel will, too. But I see what she meant. Sometimes they can be annoying. Although hugging my angel and holding her close does not seem like a bad idea. And he is my wolf because I said the same thing about her scent. I pull her close to me, holding her in my arms, while we talk about our wolves and what they are like. Her wolf made an appearance after mine so that we can understand each other better, and that Wolfie won't be lonely being the only wolf his age, but she can't shift yet because she's not strong and big enough. It will hurt her too badly. Or at least that is what her wolf told her. After a few hours of just lying in bed talking, an idea pops into my head. Baby girl, do you think we can mind link like big wolves now? She looks at me with big eyes, uncertain. So I close my eyes to concentrate. Lana baby, can you hear me? From the gasp leaving her mouth, I know she heard me, and it makes me so happy. We can mind link now. She closed her eyes to concentrate as well, and it didn't take me long to hear her angelic voice in my mind. I'm happy you're awake, Leja, I missed you. So I pull her close to me, kissing her temple tiredly. I slept for 2 days, and I'm still tired. Now I think I know why the high school kids are always sleeping. I just thought they were lazy. Is this how they always feel? I will have to ask Daddy if I will become weird like the high school kids now. Not long after that, my mama and Daddy came into my room looking tired. When they see I'm awake, their face lights up and Mama starts crying. Daddy says women are more emotional, and we have to respect that and comfort them. But he doesn't say it in front of Mama, otherwise she will smack him upside the head. My baby, you're awake. I'm so happy you're fine and safe. How are you feeling? Are you okay? My mama keeps rambling on, asking questions. At the same time, my daddy kisses me on the forehead, ruffling my hair while I hold my angel in my arms. It didn't take long for Belle to figure out I'm awake from all the noise coming from my room. She came storming in with big eyes, running to me and giving me a big hug, refusing to let me go. I love my family. Chapter 15. Alana's POV. Today is Christmas Eve. We are all spending it together. We had our pack Christmas celebration last week, where all the pack members celebrated together. There was a big bonfire and people were singing Christmas songs and eating marshmallows. I am meeting Leja's grandparents for the first time. They were the previous Alpha and Luna, but they don't live in the pack anymore. I hope they like me. All of our friends and family are celebrating Christmas together this year. Leja and I were waiting outside for everyone to arrive when we got bored and started building a snowman. We even stole some of Auntie Lee's carrots for his nose and some rocks as buttons. When we were done, I couldn't resist saying, "Hi, my name is Olaf and I love warm hugs," which prompted Leja to pick me up in a big hug and spin me around, making me laugh uncontrollably. As soon as he set me down on the ground, I felt something hard and cold hit my back. I turned around with a big gasp to see my daddy and all his friends and all my friends. When did they all get here? My daddy threw a snowball at me. I could see it in his eyes. It was him. He's going down. This resulted in a big snow fight, pups against adults. Leja threw himself in front of me a few times, so the snowballs would rather hit him than me. Our battle didn't stop until we heard a car honk. All the moms were standing on the front porch. And we turned to see a few old couples next to their cars. The grandparents have arrived. Belle tried to run up to her grandparents in excitement, but tripped and fell face first into the snow. Elliot was wobbling past her on his short legs toward our grandparents, not even giving Belle a second glance. While Leja took my hand in his, he quickly made our way to them as well. My grandma pinched my cheeks, talking in a baby voice, "Look how big you've gotten." I don't think she knows I'm already 10 years old, and she doesn't need to do that anymore. It hurts my cheeks, but I can't say that to her. It would hurt her feelings. When I'm done greeting my grandparents, Leja pulls me towards his grandparents with a big smile on his face. "Grammy, Grandpa, this is Alana, my mate." They already knew Leja had found his mate, so they weren't surprised, but they were way more excited than I thought. And they are huggers, because his grandma pulled me into a big hug so tight, I said to Leja through Mind Link, and a growl left his lips, "Grammy, you're squishing my mate." He pulled me out of his grandma's embrace and held me in his arms. Then his mother hit the back of his head. "No growling at your grandparents." He just mumbled a sorry, rubbing the back of his head. With the years, she just starts hitting harder and harder. He tells me through Mind Link, and I can hear the disappointment in his voice. I don't even have to look at him to know he is frowning, which makes me break out in a fit of laughter and leave his grandparents with a perplexed look on their faces. This results in me getting a slap on the shoulder by my mom. Stop mind-linking while in other people's company. It's rude, she scolded, making my mouth drop. It's not even my fault, he linked me. The rest of the day was very uneventful. We pups played together upstairs while the adults were talking in the living room. After dinner, I felt so stuffed that I couldn't move. Why do they always have to make so much delicious food for Christmas? After dinner, there was so much cake. You can't say no to cake. Xander had cake all over his face. The guys kept laughing at him, but he just kept eating. He could eat a whole cake by himself. When it was time to open gifts, everyone had big smiles on their faces. Mama helped me pick out Daddy's present, and Daddy helped to pick out Mama's. I got a bit of everything: toys, soapies, clothes, chocolates, and flowers. Everything was so lovely, but my favorite gift was from Leja. He got me a giant teddy bear. It is taller than I. It is gorgeous. It was a black wolf, and it reminded me of Wolfie. I ran up to him, giving him lots of kisses on his cheeks, hugging him, and thanking him. He is so good at giving gifts. I still wear my butterfly necklace every day. I just got him a black-colored guy bracelet with a wolf and a butterfly on it, and I showed him I have a similar silver one. And I also got him his favorite basketball team jersey. When it was getting late, we went upstairs to get ready for bed. Everything I needed to sleep over was permanently in his room. For the number of times I sleep over, it's too much work to pack a bag every time, so I just left a few things here. If I need something, I can climb through the window and get it. When we climbed into bed, I cuddled into his side, and he kissed my forehead. Good night, little angel, sleep tight. He mumbled into my hair. Good night, Leja, good night, Wolfie. Wolfie and Anna get jealous and sad when I don't talk to them, too, and that puts me and Leja in a bad mood, so I try to give them both attention. I love my Leja and Wolfie, they're the best. We would sometimes let our wolves take over our bodies. They love spending time together. And sometimes Leja would shift into his wolf, and we would play outside together. I never thought someone could be this happy, but here I am over the moon. Chapter 16. Elijah's POV. Everything has been excellent between Alana and me. We've been cuddling more than usual. Although we are very comfortable holding each other and kissing on the forehead and cheeks, we still don't kiss on the lips. We'll get there someday. She is my forever, so we have all the time in the world. My wolf gets overprotective. Yes, you heard me right. I'm blaming my wolf. No man dares look at her the wrong way or do anything that will provoke me. School has been great. The transition to high school wasn't even that hard. I expected it to be way worse, based on what people used to say. But nothing significant changed. We still do homework together, watch movies, play outside, and Lana still likes to garden. And the best change is, my little angel can cook and bake now, and let me be the first to say, she is amazing. Yes, I taste everything. We started combat training with Alex a few years ago, and we can already kick most of the pack warriors' butts. She has to be good because I'll hit anyone who hurts her. I also train in wolf form against them, but Lana still hasn't shifted. Anna said it will happen soon. My dad and mom also started teaching us a bit about being the alpha and Luna. Besides me putting on some muscle, yes, definitely not fat. Having to fight my mom about shaving way too often and my voice sounding more and more like my dad's, everything is excellent. Or so I thought. Now I'm sitting outside my angel's window in the rain, begging her to open it up. She kicked me out of the house a few hours ago, and I have no idea why. Okay, maybe I know a little, but she is overreacting. Her kicking me out came out of nowhere. At school today, we found out about a test that we had to study for. So I told her I'll stay over tonight, and we can examine, watch a movie, and cuddle, including having snacks in bed. We love doing that. And she was happy when I suggested it. But she was all over the place today. One second, she is happy and loving. The next, she is mad, and if it's not that, she is crying. Happy tears, sad tears, I've seen them all today. And then the worst happened. Some stupid guy bumped into my little angel. almost causing her to fall on her pretty little butt. He broke her butterfly necklace in the process. No one had time to react. Before they knew it, I was punching the guy. How dare he bump into the future Luna, my mate? It is safe to say that we were asked to leave school for the rest of the day, leaving my angel mad at me for punching the guy and sad about her necklace. Have you seen someone being mad and wanting comfort from them in the same breath? It was awkward, to say the least. So we went to her house, studied in silence while I held her in my arms. After a while, she went to the bathroom and got us some snacks. After about half an hour, she still wasn't back, so I went to look for her, only to get kicked out by Sophia. Lana wants me to leave. What? Now I'm soaked from head to toe. Wolfie is mad at me for getting us kicked out of the dog box, as he calls it. It's getting dark, and she still won't open up. After a few more minutes, Caleb climbed through my window, sitting down next to me. How are you holding up, buddy? I look at him with pleading eyes. They can't keep me out forever. How is she? When will she let me in? Can you please get her to talk to me? I'll do anything. Caleb looks at me laughing. Laughing? He thinks this is funny. My mate is mad, my mom is gonna smack me for punching someone, and he is laughing. Unbelievable. Alana is a woman now, you're going to have to get used to it. A woman now? Then it hits me. My mom told me this would happen. The conversation with my mom was awkward, and I don't want to repeat it. But with my luck, we learned about it in school, too. So what do I know? I can't just wait for it to pass. Is it going to be this bad every time? I whisper the last part, scared of his reply. He burst out laughing, like this is the funniest thing in the world. It is her first time, so if you're lucky, it will get better with time. Come on, I can get you into her room, but the rest is up to you. Take snacks and drinks with you, it might help. I take a deep breath and go back to my room, changing into dry clothes, getting snacks and drinks, and going to her. As soon as she sees me in her room, she runs up to me, jumping into my arms, wrapping her legs around my waist and her arms around my neck, just like she always does when she is excited. I have a lot of practice catching her. She mumbles bed, movie, snacks into my neck, and there is no way I'm arguing with her. When we get in bed, she lies on top of me while I'm rubbing her back. I'm sorry for being a meanie today, I love you. I hug her tighter in my arms. Now, this Alana, I can deal with. I love you, too, little angel, I say, kissing her forehead, burying my face in her hair. Let's hope she does not kick me out every time. I am already stressed about the mood swings she will get when she is pregnant one day. But if every mood swing ends with her in my arms, I will be a lucky man. A tired, but lucky man. Chapter 17. Alana's POV. I open my eyes, kicking my blanket down. Today is such a hot day. I turn to see I'm alone. Nowadays, I never know when I wake up, where I am or if I'm alone. I sleep in his room, he sleeps in mine. He would sometimes sneak into my room when I was already asleep because his wolf misses me. He blames poor Wolfie for everything. I try to kick off more blankets because I'm sweating, but there are none. Anna keeps saying outside, fine mate, but I blow her off. I haven't even brushed my teeth. I'm not going outside now. Where are you? Anna wants to see you. I mind-link Leja while getting up to brush my teeth. Great, now I sound just like him, blaming my wolf, but it's true. My whole body hurts. Maybe I'm starting to get sick. Hey, love, I'm with my dad. I'll come to you as soon as I can, he replies. See Anna, he'll come when he is. I don't get to finish, because I drop to the floor screaming in pain. Help, I called out to Leja, and soon my parents came running into my room. Everything hurts, I tell them through clenched teeth. My dad picked me up, carried me outside, and put me down on the wet grass. Great, now I'm in pain and wet. How is this helping? I need a doctor. Ladybug, you're shifting, don't fight the pain, just let it happen. Shifting? I guess it makes sense, but why does it hurt so bad? Nobody said it was going to hurt this bad. Another wave of pain hit me as I screamed. Or hell, I don't even know, but it hurts. Soon, Leja comes running up. I'm sorry, I'm here now. You're going to be okay, you're strong, you can do this, he says, rubbing my back soothingly. I can't. It hurts, I say, tears coming out of my eyes as my bones start to break one at a time. I know, I'm sorry. It's almost over. Hang on, baby, he says, kissing my forehead. Then everything happens so fast, I'm shifting. When I look down, I see white paws where my feet used to be. When I look up, I see everyone with big smiles on their faces. I did it. I can shift now. And I'm a white wolf, one of the rarest wolves ever. Is it wrong of me to think Wolfie and Anna look like chess pieces together? Black and white. Come on, love, let's get you used to those wolf legs. We're going for a run. Lijua's voice pulls me from my thoughts, which makes Anna scowl. I give Anna complete control while Lija shifts into his wolf. We run into the woods, Wolfie running behind me, biting at my tail and heels playfully. Anna runs as fast as she can towards the water hole, wanting to test her speed. When she gets there, she turns around to see that Wolfie has fallen behind. So I'm a fast wolf, nice? I look in the water to see my reflection, white as snow. When Lija shifted, he wasn't even that interested in seeing how he looked because all Alpha's wolves are black, but seeing my white wolf is interesting. Out of nowhere, Wolfie bites my butt. What? I turn around, growling, how dare he? Baby, you have a black moon imprinted on your pretty little, but he mind links and I can hear the laughter in his voice. He always calls it my pretty little butt, but he can't bite it. We might be wolves, but we are not animals. We don't bite each other's butts. I tackle him to the ground, and we play like that for a few hours until we get tired and head home. When we get there, I take a pair of clothes my parents left out, go behind a tree, and shift back. I go back to the house where everyone is waiting. As soon as I enter, everyone is staring at me. Yes, I just shifted. It's a significant accomplishment. A gasp leaves my mom's mouth. Your hair. Not again. I look at my hair to see that it's all white, with no black hair left. I didn't even have time to register what was happening when someone pulled at my pants. I turn around with big eyes, pushing Lija away. What are you doing? He looks at me with a frown, like he was doing the most normal thing in the world, and I'm the crazy one. Your hair is still white. I want to see if the moon is still there, he says, like it should have been obvious. Go away, I say, pushing him. I pull my pants down a bit to see. I'm walking in circles like a dog trying to catch its tail, but I can't see anything. I stop when I hear Lija snickering. Baby, it's the other side. He laughs out while I'm glaring at him. I turn to look, and there it is. It seems like I got a tattoo of a moon on my lower back, but area. Turning around, I show Lija, and all he does is whisper, beautiful. When I feel like the Walking Dead, Lija helps me up to my room and puts me to bed. Luckily, I won't sleep for 2 days like Lija did after his shift because I'm older and stronger than he was. But right now I feel like I can sleep for a week. Lija climbs in next to me, rubbing my back. Your wolf is beautiful, baby. I'm so proud of you, he tells me, and I can feel my eyes getting heavy, but I don't want to fall asleep yet. I want to stay in this moment with him forever. I didn't know it was possible, but now that I can shift, it feels like the mate bond has grown even stronger. Chapter 18. Alana's POV. It is New Year's Eve, and we are going to the annual New Year's Eve ball for the first time. It is one of the biggest parties of the year. All of the highest-ranked alphas of all of the packs attend it. We bought a new dress, and my mom helped me get ready. When we made our way downstairs, my dad and Lija were there, waiting for us. Both their eyes were huge, a soft wow escaping their lips. When I made it to the last step, Lija met me with a hug, picking me up and spinning twice before setting me down on my feet. Beautiful doesn't even begin to describe how perfect you look in that dress, love, he told me, kissing me tenderly on the forehead. Then we made our way to the pack where the ball is held. When we got there were cars everywhere. I don't even think our pack has a big enough venue to host a party like this. Everything was so pretty, and everyone looked like they stepped out of a magazine. Lija had to pull me back from stopping at every flower or any pretty dress. We met a few alpha families and made small talk here and there. You never know when you will need some allies. Omegas were walking around with platters of food and drinks. I couldn't wait for people to start dancing. Yes, when I found out about the party, I made Leja take dance classes with me. I love dancing and Leja won't admit it, but I know he likes it too. It was almost midnight and Tuesdays by Jake Scott was starting to play. Leja pulled me to the dance floor, wrapped his arms tightly around my waist, and moved to the slow beat of the music. As the song slowly came to an end, Leja pulled me even closer, slowly putting his lips on mine. We're kissing. The kiss is gentle and pouring with love. His lips were soft against mine while butterflies and happiness burst inside me. I lock my fingers into his silky hair, pulling him even closer. How can something feel this perfect? His tongue slipped into my mouth, exploring. We didn't pull away until we heard people around us yelling, "Happy New Year." I was looking around, confused, when I saw people hugging their loved ones. We're still at the party? When I turned back to Leja, I saw him looking at me lovingly with a big smile. You're my Tuesday, my everyday, my forever. I love you so much, baby. Happy New Year. He said softly, a happy tear escaping my eyes when I pulled him down to me for another kiss, my favorite feeling in the world. I love you so much, I told him, and before I knew it, our parents were standing next to us, wishing us a Happy New Year. From the look in my dad's eyes, I knew he saw the kiss, but I just gave him a big smile and a tight hug, which lifted his mood back up. It helps to be daddy's girl. It wasn't long after midnight when we got home. From the look on all the parents' faces, we made our way to our rooms, separately. I guess our kissing changes things a bit for them? As soon as I made it into the house, my dad pulled me to his side. I can't believe you kissed that pup, he said, looking disgusted, while I still couldn't keep the smile off my face. Nothing could spoil my good mood. No funny business in my house. Or his house. Or any house. You're still my baby. Don't grow up yet, he said with pleading eyes. I just rolled my eyes, still smiling, kissing him on the cheek. Good night, Daddy, I love you. Good night, Ladybug. Love you, he says back happily, his sour mood forgotten. I kissed my mom on the cheek and made my way upstairs. I got ready for bed, but before I could drift off in a peaceful slumber, I felt my bed dipping to the side. I turned around slowly, only to be pulled into a warm embrace by my mate. Wolfie missed you, he whispers into my hair, making me giggle. Anna missed you too. Anna loves kisses. Anna loves you. Anna is so happy. Anna can stay in his arms forever. Anna can. My wolf says happily in my head. Still, before she can finish her ranting, I cut her off. Shush, you crazy wolf. It's bedtime. We're in his arms. What more do you want? I can practically hear her imagination going wild with all the things she wants, varying from ice cream, kisses, running, and anything she can think of. Just a goodnight kiss, one goodnight kiss, a long goodnight kiss, maybe a little. Before she could continue, I leaned up and planted my lips on Leja. He was taken by surprise, but it didn't take him long to respond lovingly, curling his fingers in my hair, pulling me closer. He is a better kisser than he was at 7. I placed my head back on his chest, drifting off to sleep, but not before hearing my wolf say, UHG, not enough. Early the next morning, I woke up to some noises. Too early. I'm lying on top of Leja, his arms holding me protectively to him. I turn my head to see where all the noise is coming from, only to see my dad at my door. Well, not standing at my door, more like removing my door. What on earth? He turns, and when he sees I'm awake, he gives me a big smile and thumbs up before picking the door up and leaving my room. Great, he stole my door. Just as I was trying to fall back asleep, a 10-year-old Elliot comes walking into my room, laying next to us on the bed, whispering, "You don't have a door." He was barely done with his sentence when Belle came climbing through my window as Leja woke up, giving me a lingering kiss on my neck, sighing when he sees our siblings with us on the bed. "You don't have a door." "Why?" "Dad is busy removing Eli's door as well," Belle says, and Leja looks at her like she just told him the world is coming to an end, whispering parents under his breath while shaking his head. Looks like our parents are more stressed about this whole kissing thing than I thought, the trust in this family. We spent the rest of the morning in bed, laughing with Elliot and Belle. They're growing up way too fast. Man, now I even sound like my mom. If a year starts this good, I'm sure I'm in for a great year ahead. Chapter 19. Alana's POV. We are finally in our last year of high school. Leja and I both decided to attend a nearby college. That way, we can stay at home together and start working on Alpha and Luna duties while studying. Leja is going to study business management, while I'm going to study education. It will help us with our future Alpha and Luna duties. My favorite part of the pack since I was young was always the pup sitters. They protected me before I came to Alpha Hei's pack, and I hope that I can help some pups like they helped me. Today it's Friday, and we are having another one of our movie nights with all our friends. We are holding it at Leja's house, just like the first ever movie night I had with the boys. The only difference is that this time all my friends are with me. I am genuinely happy. His whole living room is filled with blankets, pillows, drinks, sweets, and pizza by the time all of our friends arrive. As with every movie night, everyone argued over what to watch first. You'd think, after years of movie nights, we'd have figured out a fair way to pick out a movie without arguing. After more than 10 minutes of arguing, we finally chose Hobbs and Shaw. Leja and I were cuddled up on one couch, Xander and Mila on the other. They found out they were mates, and let's say it's been a circus. Chubbs was sitting close to the snack table, while everyone else was lying on the ground on a mountain of pillows and blankets. Sometime during the night, I fell asleep, and when I woke up again, I'm not sure what time it is, but it is still dark. The TV is still on, but everyone is already asleep. It doesn't take me long to realize that I woke up because Leja is holding me tight in his arms, rubbing his hand slowly up and down my side, kissing my neck. So I slowly turn, pulling his lips to my own. When we pull away, he whispers, "Come on, love, let's go upstairs. I want to talk to you about something." I nod, and we quietly make our way to his room. When we get there, I sit down on his bed while he paces his room nervously. After a few minutes, I pull him to sit down next to me. "What's going on?" "You know, if you're nervous, it makes me nervous." "Talk to me," I say gently. I wanted it to be romantic. I planned everything. But while holding you in my arms tonight, I couldn't stop thinking back to when we first met, the little angel with pitch black hair and gorgeous blue eyes. From the moment I saw you, I knew you'd be mine forever, and I wouldn't have it any other way. He says he is standing up, walking to his closet to get something. I thought a lot about how I wanted to do this. The perfect moment, but then I realized every moment with you is perfect. He pauses, showing me the most beautiful ring. This is a promise ring. A promise to always love and protect you. To be your shoulder to cry on and kiss your tears away. The one to experience every memorable memory with you and join in all your laughter. One day I'll replace this with a wedding ring, but for now, I hope you accept my promise ring, a promise for forever. By the end of his speech, I couldn't control the tears streaming down my face. I pull him into a sloppy kiss, tasting the mixture of his lips and my tears. I pull away, saying "I love you" repeatedly between tears, while he slips the ring on my finger. I can kick half of the male wolves during practice, but I can't contain my tears when my mate is being sweet. He can always bring out the best in me. He is my calm in the storm. He pulls the covers back, deciding to stay upstairs in bed tonight. It is a lot more comfortable than the couch. We make out for a while longer before we both fall into a peaceful sleep, cuddled up together. The next morning, when we got downstairs for breakfast, everyone had already left. Well, I guess it's not technically morning anymore. What do you expect from us? We had a late night. When Auntie Lee notices my ring, she slaps Leja on the back of the head. "Ow, what did I do now?" he asks, rubbing his head with one hand and pulling me closer to his side with the other. "Great. Use me as protection to get away from your mom. It was supposed to be romantic. We should have planned a date when you will give it to her. You weren't supposed to give it to her last night." She whispers, yelling like I'm not standing right next to Leja and can hear everything. Then she pulls me into a hug. "I'm so happy for you too," she says, slapping Leja again, and I have to bite my lip not to laugh. Leja gives her a look of disbelief, pulling me away from her to a plate filled with breakfast and leaving me to pour us some juice before settling back next to me. I don't even know what my parents' reaction will be. Did they know he was going to give me the ring? My poor dad is going to have a panic attack. While I eat, I can't stop looking at the ring on my finger. He had some help picking it out. Chapter 20. Alana's POV. It's almost time for our final exams before we graduate. Besides studying with me and climbing into bed next to me late at night, we barely see each other. I have no idea what keeps him this busy every day. Every time I ask him, he gives some excuse I know is not valid. Even Mila said Xander has been away a lot lately, doing something for Eli, but she doesn't know what either. It's starting to worry me, but everyone keeps telling me to relax and that everything will work out perfectly. I'm pretty sure my parents and his know what is going on, but they won't tell me. He tries not to treat me any differently. He brings me flowers, cuddles with me, and talks to me about everything except what he is doing all day. But I can tell he is hiding something from me, something big. So I decided I'm going to do what any rational teenage girl would do. I'm going to figure out what is going on. It is the weekend, which means he is gone before I wake up and won't return until late, when I'm already asleep. So I have all the time in the world to satisfy my curiosity. Yes, that is it. Not snooping or spying, just satisfying my curiosity. So after lunch, I go outside and follow his scent. It is not very hard to find his scent because it is very familiar to me and hard to miss. Secondly, he has been here a lot. His scent is all over the place with a few other wolves. I don't even recognize all of the scents. I was somewhere in the woods, still following the scent, when I heard something behind me for a second. I stood frozen, thinking someone had caught me. Then someone I don't recognize comes out of nowhere. I start kicking and screaming, but it is no help. He covers my face with something, and I feel my eyes get heavy before I pass out. A rogue. When I wake up, it takes me a few seconds to remember what happened. I don't know how long I was passed out or where I am, but my wrists hurt, bound by wolfsbane-covered ropes, burning my skin. My head hurts, probably from whatever he drugged me with. Being in the dark room, it is hard to tell the time. Does anyone know I'm kidnapped? What time is it? I don't know how long I'll be alone in the dark room before the guy enters the room. He looks so scary. He has a long scar running down his face and he is covered in tattoos. His eyes look so cold, like he has no emotions. Well. I have to say, you made this so easy for me. You're still just a pathetic little girl. You ruined my life, and by the time I'm done with you, you're going to beg me to end your life. I stare at him. How do you even reply to something like that? I won't let him break me. Who do you think you are? I don't know you. How did I ruin your life? They're going to find me, and then you're going to be sorry. I say through clenched teeth, slightly terrified but mostly angry. Dear, how could you forget your father? He says in a mocking tone, while my heart beats faster and faster. Then he kicks me in the face, effectively knocking me out again. Elijah's POV. I've been so busy lately. Exams are coming up, and I have some alpha duties. Then I am planning this big surprise for my angel. I feel so guilty for not being able to spend as much time with her as usual, and having to lie to her about what I do every day, day after day. I know it is bothering her, but I'm almost done. Her parents, my parents, and basically anyone who can keep a secret see what I'm doing. And everyone is willing to help me. If everything goes as planned, her surprise will be done by the time our exams begin. So that is where I am today, working on her surprise again. Xander and a few other pack members are helping me when I suddenly feel dizzy. Hey man, you okay? You don't look so good. Xander says, holding my arm to keep me from falling. It didn't even last for 10 seconds, and I'm better. That is so weird. Hey baby, are you okay? I say through mind link. My parents once told me that after a couple is fully mated, they can feel everything the other is feeling. Lana and I aren't fully mated, but we have a firm bond, and I am sure that dizzy wave did not come from me. My mind link isn't reaching her. I look up at Xander, who is still looking at me carefully. Something is wrong with Alana, I say, pushing him away to start running home with him close behind me. He knows it must be serious, because I never call her by her full name. When we get to her house, she's not there. I quickly go to my house, but she's not there either. I mind linking my parents and her parents, ready to pass out from the stress. How can she just be gone? It feels like my heart is going to explode in my chest, and I can't breathe. I didn't even realize the tears coming down my face until my dad pulled me into a hug. We'll find her, son. You have to calm down. You can't help her in the state you're in. We have trackers looking for her. We're going to find her. He whispered the last part as if convincing himself. We have to find her. She is my everything. Alpha, we tracked her scent. She's been kidnapped, one of the trackers tells my dad, and it feels like the wind got knocked out of me. She's been kidnapped. Chapter 21. Elijah's POV. It's been more than 2 weeks since I've seen my little angel. I can't do anything. I'm out every day in the woods looking for her, looking for some clue to where she can be or who took her. I get home late at night and sleep in her bed because it smells like her. My wolf is in his world, trying to connect with her wolf, but he still has no luck. Some people started with exams a few days ago, but there is no way I'm spending time on anything other than finding my mate. If it weren't for my mother's treats, I wouldn't even want to waste time on eating. Finding her is my only priority. When I get her back, there is no way I'm letting her out of my sight ever again. I was walking through the woods when I suddenly heard something in my mind, Father. It was faint, but I heard it. I saw red as I made my way to my father's office. As soon as I enter, I shove Caleb against the wall. My wolf teeth and eyes are showing. It took my dad and Alex to get me to finally let go of it. What is wrong with you, Elijah? My dad said, just as I said, where is she? Everyone looked at me confused. I got a faint mind link from her. She only said one word. Father, I said in a deadly tone through clenched teeth. Everyone's faces turn pale, and my dad goes behind his desk, picking up his phone to make a phone call while everyone is having a conversation of their own, completely ignoring me. Where is she? I get everyone's attention back on me. They know something about my little angel and won't tell me. When my dad finally ends his call, he turns to talk to me. Son, she wasn't talking about Caleb. She was talking about her biological father. You never met him because we sent him to prison for what he did to her, but I just called the prison where he was held, and he escaped a month ago. I knew she didn't have a good life before coming to our pack, but we never really spoke about her biological parents. Just about what she used to like. Why couldn't I protect her? A tear falls down my cheek when I'm suddenly hit with a terrible headache, falling to my knees, screaming. I see everything she sees, feel everything she feels. I don't know how long I'm in her world before everything goes back to normal, and I see everyone looking at me worriedly. Alana's POV. I don't know how long I've been here, but it's been terrible. He doesn't give me any food, and I'm starving. He barely gives me any water. I know that if someone doesn't find me soon, I won't last much longer. I've lost weight, and even with my wolf healing, I'm covered in bruises and injuries. He can harm my body, but he won't break my spirit. Every time he comes in, I go into my world, a world where everything is perfect like it used to be, where I'm safe and cuddled up in Elijah's arms. Nothing can take that away from me. I keep trying to think of him when I'm alone, but I don't know if he is getting it. I'm so tired. I want to close my eyes and keep them closed until everything is perfect again. That is what I do, until the door opens and Mr. Michaels walks in again. I look in his hand and see the cruel look in his eye. This is going to be another bad one, but I keep focusing on Elijah. It didn't take me long to pass out, either from the pain or just from being too tired. Please find me Elijah. I wake up to a beeping sound. Great, an alarm for this dark place he keeps me in. When I try to open my eyes, they won't open the first time, but after a few attempts, they open, revealing white. Everything is white. I'm alone in a hospital room. Someone rescued me. I stand up with shaky legs. Everything hurts, but I've been through worse. Most of my wounds appear to be healing. How long have I been here? I start making my way out of my hospital room, but no one is paying me any attention. Where are Elijah and my family? I try to catch their scent, but everything smells like a hospital. I'm sorry, she is healing like she is supposed to, but she went through a lot of trauma, and I can't say when or if she is going to wake up. Only time will tell, I hear someone say. If? What do you mean by that? She has to wake up. Leja. That is his voice. I follow it as fast as my tired legs will carry me until I bump into someone. Elliot. He looks at me with big eyes, a tear rolling down his cheek. You're awake, he whispers, and I pull him into a tight hug. Hey, baby brother, I missed you so much. I missed you too much. I stole one of your teddies. I'm a big boy, I don't sleep with teddies anymore, but it reminded me of you, he says while I wipe his tears away, smiling at my not-so-little brother. Mom, my brother tries to catch her attention. Not now, Elliot. This insane doctor doesn't know how to do his job. He says your sissy might never wake up. She says she didn't even glance our way. Everyone continues arguing with the poor doctor, while my brother rolls his eyes. It might not be the right time, but a laugh escapes my lips. It's great to be back home. Everyone goes silent instantly when they hear my laugh, turning slowly to me. Leja runs up, pulling me into a tight hug, kissing my forehead and cheeks, holding my face in his hands. My parents broke down in tears, and everyone came in for a big family hug. I was in a coma for a week and a half. But I'm awake now and safe, and I am not leaving my people again. Chapter 22. Alana's POV. Turns out I was in a coma for a whole week. I was in a bad way when they found me. Mr. Michaels wasn't the only rogue who escaped, but they found all of the prisoners at the same place I was being held. It was a miracle I survived. Apparently, some of those people were even more dangerous than Mr. Michaels. Everyone is already halfway through their exams, except Leja and me. But Alpha Hehe said they would make an exception for us and still let us write, so we don't have to redo the year. It is nice to know people in authority. I was shocked when they told me Leja could see through my eyes and some of my memories. That is the only reason they found me. Everyone else was just generally shocked. They have heard of mates feeling each other's pain and sometimes their emotions, but they have never heard of mates seeing through each other's eyes and into each other's memories. I have no idea why it happened, but I'm so glad it did. Maybe it is because of our mate bond? I was so happy to be back with my family. Once my mom finally stopped crying, everyone sat in my hospital room just talking, joking around, and having a nice time. The doctor said I had to spend another night in the hospital. Although my wounds are healing pretty well, I have to stay just to be safe. Leja sent everyone home, saying he would stay with me. I debated scolding him, ignoring him, or saying something about the way he treated me before I got kidnapped, but I didn't. He looked so tired, as if he had lost weight, and he already had a guilty, sad look in his eyes. I didn't want to add to his burden. I don't even care about it anymore. I want to be back in his arms, safe. He spent that whole night in an uncomfortable chair next to my hospital bed, sleeping with his head on my tummy and his arms circling my waist like he was scared I'd disappear. And that is how I fell asleep, afraid of having nightmares. I was standing in a green field filled with daisies. Looking around, everything seemed so unfamiliar. Hello, dear, I thought it best we talked in a place you would like. I turned to see a beautiful woman in a short, white, flowy dress. Although I didn't know her, she seemed like an old friend. She must have seen the confusion on my face because she continued, "You don't know me personally, but you know me. I'm the moon goddess. I thought it best not to visit you while in your coma because you needed your rest to heal, but I think you also need answers." I looked at her, confused and amazed. The moon goddess is standing right in front of me. You see, you and Elijah are, in a manner, very special to me. That is why I made you realize you are mates so early. That is why I made your bond so strong. So you can always protect each other so that nothing can come between you. That is why I marked you both after you shifted for the first time. Marked us? Does she mean the moon mark I have? Leja never said anything about him having a moon mark, too. She saw more confusion and continued with a slight chuckle. Dear, he has it in the back of his neck if you check closely. I nodded in understanding. What? It's not like I went searching for a moon tattoo on his body before. So I've never seen it. It's not a big deal, right? A war is coming and your future children will be the saviors of all werewolves. They will be werewolf royalty and each will have their unique powers. Raise them to become leaders and be the good parents that I know in your hearts you could be. That left me even more shocked, but all I did was nod. She bent down, picked a daisy, and handed it to me, giving me a soft kiss on the cheek before disappearing. Waking up, I was shocked out of my dream, but I knew it wasn't just a dream. I met the moon goddess, and I didn't even say a word to her, not even a peep. What is wrong with me? Looking down, I saw Leja still sleeping on my tummy. I look at his neck and sure enough, there it is, a moon just like mine, just a bit smaller. My touch on his neck brought him out of his sleep. He gave me a tired grin. You're still here. I nodded, telling him I'm never leaving him again, also telling him about my encounter with the moon goddess. Leaving him with tons of stupid questions. How many kids will we have? Who will they look like? How does my tattoo look? I tell him I met the moon goddess, and that's his question. Unbelievable. I'm just hoping they will all be safe. Okay, fine. I'm a bit curious about how many kids we will have, hopefully 2 or 3 at most. We spent the rest of the night/early morning just talking until I could get released, neither of us feeling too tired. Just happy to be back together. Chapter 23. Alana's POV. Walking through the woods blindfolded is much more complex than I would have thought. Even with Leja leading me and my wolf senses, I keep tripping over rocks and sticks. I love the man, but he is way too excited to lead a blindfolded person. He forgets I'm blindfolded and keeps pulling me to walk faster. I am finally allowed to see what he has been doing with all his time. Okay, we're here. You can take the blindfold off, he says excitedly. I look at the beautiful house in front of me, and when I turn to Leja, I see him holding his breath. It's pretty. I didn't know there was a house in this part of the park. Who lives here? I say, taking in my surroundings. I thought all of the houses were on the other side of the pack house. When I look back at Leja, I see his excited mood gone, and he has a frown on his face. We do, or we will. That is what I've been doing. I wanted to surprise you. I look back at the house, a big gasp escaping my lips. Did he have this beautiful house built for us? Before he could do anything, I jumped into his arms and hugged him, and we both fell to the ground. You'd think he'd be better at catching me after 12 years. My maid is rich. Okay, fine, he is not rich, but he will be. This was partly a loan from his father and partly from the pack that puts money aside to build a house for their Alpha and Luna. So most of the pack knew about my surprise. Apparently, Alpha Hehe isn't only an alpha, but also owns a few human businesses, and that is where most of the money comes from. One day, Leja will take over those businesses as well. A few people have jobs outside the pack for extra money. I didn't know that. I guess that is why some people are so rich. We went into the house, and he showed me all the different rooms. The whole house is already furnished, but not decorated. He said he wanted us to do it together. Together? Funny. We both know I'm doing most of the decorating. He sucks at it. He can make sure everything I get is hanging straight on the wall. We are standing in the living room, my arms around his neck, his around my waist. This is the best surprise ever. I love you, I say, playing gently with his hair. Can we get a puppy? I kiss his forehead. No. Can we get a puppy? I kiss his nose. No. Can we get a puppy? I kiss his left cheek. No. This no was more strained. I'm winning him over. We're getting a puppy. Can we get a puppy? I kiss his right cheek. And no. Will you mark me? I peck his lips. N. Wait, what? He says with big eyes. I asked if we could get a puppy. His big eyes turned into a frown. No, you didn't. You asked if. He stops mid-sentence in confusion, thinking maybe his brain is playing tricks on him. Will you mark me? His eyes widened. You did say that. Are you sure you want me to? He asks, barely containing his excitement. Now it's my turn to look at him like he is dumb. Leja, we've known we are mates since I was 5. I've shifted for the first time a year, almost 2 years ago. There are fully mated wolves our age already expecting pups. I don't care that we aren't that far yet, but I want you to mark me. He looks at me with a big smile, pulling me into a deep kiss. He pulls away, gently kissing my neck in search of the right place. I bend my neck to the side, giving him more access. When he finds the right spot, I feel a shiver run down my spine. His wolf teeth extend, giving me one last kiss before he bites down, claiming me. A sharp pain shoots through me for a second, quickly followed by a feeling of overwhelming peace and completeness, like the final piece of my soul just clicked into place. That night, our bond was fully completed. It was an intense moment that sealed our connection, leaving us both feeling whole and inseparable. When I woke up the next morning, I was safe in his arms, cuddled close. I lifted my head to look at him. He looked so handsome and peaceful. When my eyes connect with his neck, a big gasp escapes my lips, effectively waking him up. I marked him. When did I mark him? Does he know I marked him? Females don't usually mark male wolves. How am I supposed to tell him I marked him? Baby, it's okay, I know you marked me. I'm happy you did. I love you, he says with a little chuckle. You're fine with it. How did you know what I was thinking? Realization hit me, and I looked at him with big eyes. He shrugs, I don't know, I just heard you like you were talking to me, like through mind link, but somehow I knew you weren't mind linking me, he says tiredly, like it's the most normal thing in the world. He can read my mind. What if I think something I don't want him to know? This isn't good. I can never surprise him again in my life. Baby, relax, I'm sure if you concentrate, you would be able to block me out, just like you can do with mind link, he says with a slight grin. I concentrate on blocking him out, like he said. Why did I have to tell her she can block me out? Stupid, stupid, stupid. I like hearing what she thinks. She is so cute and adorable, and my mate. My amazing mate. She looks so pretty this morning. Who am I kidding? She looks pretty every morning. How can someone? He didn't get to finish his thoughts because I couldn't contain my laughter any longer. Aw man, you can read my mind too? All I can do is nod with a big smile on my face. He is right. It feels great to hear what is going on in your mate's head. Please just forget you heard any of that, he says with big pleading eyes. My only response is pulling him down for a kiss. I don't even care about morning breath. If we are not used to it by now, we never will be. We are going to be waking up next to each other for a long, long time. We finally pull away. We can get the puppy, he says, irritated, before pulling me back into a kiss. I smiled, content to stay in his arms. Chapter 24. Elijah's POV. Around lunchtime, we finally get up and go back to our parents' house. I would never be able to call this my home again after spending our first night together in our new home. Walking in, there is no way to hide what happened last night from anyone. Everyone seems genuinely happy for us, even Caleb. I can see it in his eyes, even if he tries to give me the strict dad look. Belle and Elliot smell our new combined scent, giving us a look I don't even know how to describe, before minding their own business. I think they might be going through a phase. We wanted you to wait until after graduating high school before you completed your bond, but we expected it to happen a long time ago, so I guess we have to be happy with what we got, Caleb tells us, digging into the food in front of him. I would be lying if I said I didn't expect it. That is why I started planning your Alpha and Luna ceremony. My dad says like it's nothing. I look at my little angel in my arms, gulping down the nothingness or nerves in my throat. The Alpha and Luna ceremony usually counts as a wedding as well, I say, looking at the parents. They look at me like I said the most obvious thing in the world, nodding their heads. Yep, next month. My dad says to continue eating. How can they be so unbothered about this? It's not like we're talking about taking over a pack and getting married, note the sarcasm. Son, we knew this was coming since you were 6. Stop looking at us like that and acting like it is new news to you. We will still be helping out with the pack and the business until you graduate from college and are ready to take over. But an alpha pair gets introduced to the pack after they have completed their bond. You knew this. Lana looks up at me, searching for something in my eyes after my dad's words. All I can do is give her a reassuring nod. I always knew I would marry her. I just always thought it would happen after I proposed correctly. Now it is happening in a month. Time jump. A month later. The last month living with my beautiful mate has been amazing. She is so indecisive about the puppy I promised her, so we still haven't gotten one. Deep down, I'm glad we haven't, but I'm not telling her that. She is searching everywhere for the perfect puppy. Cute and fluffy, she said. I thought all puppies are cute and fluffy to girls, like all babies are adorable to girls. She has been acting a bit strange the past week, but I think it's because she is stressed about today's ceremony. I'm standing on a small stage in front of our whole pack, our whole family. Even our grandparents came for the celebration. Nervous, stressed, a bit terrified. Those are all the emotions running through my body. I don't even know if it's my feelings or my little angels. I don't know why I feel them. Deep down I'm all giddy and excited, but I can let those emotions out before I don't have my beautiful mate standing next to me. Then I see her, and it knocks the wind right out of my lungs. My wolf is howling in my head in joy. I am the luckiest man on earth. She is the love of my life. She is all mine. The dress fits like a glove. I can see the worry and excitement in her eyes. Caleb is leading her to the small stage. Taking her hand in mine, I link her arm in mine, holding her close to me, listening to my dad start the ceremony. Okay, maybe I'm not listening to my dad because I don't know how long I've been staring at my gorgeous mate when she squeezes my arm to bring me back to reality. My dad gives me a knowing look before continuing or maybe repeating what he said. Elijah, repeat after me. I, Elijah Gray Stevens, take you, Alana Hale, to be my Luna and wife. To protect and cherish. Through good times and bad times. Through sickness and health, for as long as we both shall live. I repeat my father's words and mouth I love you to her. Then it's her turn to repeat everything my father says, which distracts me again. How can someone be that beautiful? When she is done, it is time for the exchange of wedding rings. Not all wolves do this part since we already marked each other, but I want everyone to know she belongs to me, werewolf and human. After she slides my black wedding band on my finger, I surprise her by pulling a different ring out of my pocket to replace her promise ring. I hope it fits. It used to be my grandmother's ring, and I didn't have time to resize it. When I slide the ring on her finger, a big gasp leaves her mouth as tears pool in her eyes. That has been happening a lot lately too. After the rings, they brought an ancient bowl. We each pricked our fingers, letting a drop fall into the bowl, and I gave my angel a reassuring nod. With that, our blood bond with our pack formed. I could practically feel the bond between myself and my pack grow stronger. And I could feel the power that comes with the alpha title, now that it is mine. With all the official ceremony business behind us, I pulled my angel closer and kissed her deeply. I could hear clapping from the crowd, but I couldn't pull away. She is my world. When we pulled away to get some air, tears were streaming down her face. She mumbled something under her breath that I couldn't quite hear. What's that, baby? I can't hear you, I said, gently wiping her tears away. It was probably just something like, I love you, but I can never hear her say that enough, so I want her to repeat it. She looks me in the eye and whispers, I'm pregnant. And that is how I fainted. In my first 10 minutes of being an alpha. In front of my whole pack. Just great. Chapter 25. Lija's POV. If I can survive my mate being pregnant, I can survive anything. After finding out she was pregnant, I fainted, and she cried for 2 days straight because she said I didn't want the baby. Looking back, I have no idea how I didn't see it before. I just thought she was having another bad period, but man, was I wrong. I am thankful that werewolf pregnancies only last 6 months. She already started showing, and I tried every answer to the question she just loved to ask, Lija, do you think I look fat? Anything I tried ended with her crying her eyes out and me cuddling her for the whole day. By now, I'm sure she only cries because she likes my amazing cuddles. But I finally got an answer that got me in a safe place and everyone else in big trouble. Baby, I'm biased. I love you too much. To me, you always look perfect. You are going to have to ask someone else. And let us not even begin with her weird cravings. Peanut butter and anything. She eats everything with peanut butter. Peanut butter and fries. Peanut butter and cookies. Once, she was craving popcorn and peanut butter in the middle of the night, but we didn't have popcorn, so I went knocking on every door in the pack looking for popcorn. By the time I got back, she was sleeping. Climbing into bed, she woke up crying because I wasn't in bed cuddling her, rubbing her back soothingly. I told her, baby, it's okay, I'm back now, I was just looking for some popcorn for you. What was her response? Where's my popcorn? Other than that, Everything was perfect. We talked about our future, cuddled, discussed baby names, cuddled, went to work, cuddled, ate, cuddled, got the nursery ready, cuddled, worried about raising a baby, cuddled, spent time with our family, and cuddled. It was a few weeks before her due date, and I was calm as a cucumber. She made sure everything was perfect. Her bags were already packed, and we were ready for anything. Alana's POV. It is a few weeks before the baby is due, and we are ready. Leja has been the best through this pregnancy. Not one complained about my mood swings or weird cravings. He even tried some of the things I craved, like popcorn and peanut butter, and liked them. He refuses to try the peanut butter and pasta, but I think he'd like it. He comforts me and gives me hope that we will be amazing parents. He never made me feel uncomfortable about my new pregnant body, saying that he loves every inch of me. When my tummy got too big to fit into my clothes, he let me borrow his t-shirts and sweatpants. He got even more overprotective, never wanting to leave me alone, constantly tracking me with his eyes when I moved to make sure I don't fall. Never leaving me alone in the house in case something happens. Tonight, we're staying in, watching a movie, eating pizza, peanut butter snacks, and drinking juice. We are watching The Longest Ride. He let me pick the movie. I stood up to leave because I needed the bathroom, and then my water broke. Leja, the baby is coming. He leaned forward on the couch, taking another slice of pizza out of the box. I know, baby, next week. We'll be ready, he says casually. No, Leja, I mean my water just broke. The baby is coming now. He looks at me, all the color draining from his face, dropping his pizza. No, the baby can't be coming. We have another week to prepare, he says, panicking. Leja, love, we've got to get to the hospital now, he said, looking at me. He nodded, mumbling to himself, get to the hospital, over and over. He got the car keys and our bags and started driving to the hospital. Another minor contraction came, and I put my hand on my tummy. Baby, how long do you think it's going to take your daddy to realize we're not in the car with him? I was about to call someone to help when I saw the car pulling back into the driveway. He climbed out and gave me a guilty look. I think I forgot something, he said shyly, making his way over to me. I just gave him the you think look while he helped me into the car. A few hours later. I hate you. I hate you so much. I hold onto my tummy. He wipes the sweat off my forehead. I know, baby, I know. It's almost over. You have to start pushing. I can't, I'm too tired. Please don't make me. If you love me, you won't make me push. He sighs, wiping more sweat away. I'm not making you, baby, our baby in your tummy is. You have to push. There is no way I'm ever going to go through this again. He gives me a guilty look, and I start pushing. After a while, I hear the most beautiful sound in the world. My baby is crying. That was the worst pain I ever felt, but it was forgotten with just one sound. My baby is crying. It's a boy. We're having a boy. The doctor takes him to the side, cleans him up, and then comes back to me, giving me my baby boy. He already has chocolate brown hair, like his daddy. He is the most precious thing I've ever seen in this world. Leja leans down, kissing me. Okay, you win. I want many more babies, and I do not hate you. I love you so much. He gives me a big smile, leaning further down and kisses our boy on the forehead. When he is done, I do the same. Welcome to the world, Xavier Cole Stevens. Epilogue. 5 years later. Alana's POV. Leja, kids. People are arriving for the party. I yelled, trying to get everyone to come outside. Leja had to go back up to change the kids' clothes because they had gotten messy. Xavier was the first to come running outside. Mama, it's my birthday, he yelled, running around, making me regret giving him a birthday treat this early in the morning. He is very responsible for his age most of the time, but he is a kid and likes to have fun. I am supposed to take it slow because I am pregnant again. But I've been through this 3 times before, and I was fine. This time can't be too different. I told Leja this was the last one, no more. If he gets me pregnant again, he is sleeping on the couch for the rest of his life. UNC. My 2-year-old son wiggles out of my mate's embrace, trying to get to his favorite uncle. Elliot was only 17, but he was already one of the best warriors. Chase wobbles over to Elliot, and luckily, Elliot reaches the little daredevil before he falls face first down the porch steps. I would not be lying if I said that little 2-year-old does not have an ounce of fear in his little body. Leja comes to stand behind me and wraps his arm, not holding our daughter, around me, cradling my huge baby bump. Malia is Daddy's little girl. If the 3-year-old girl isn't making sure her 2 brothers stay out of trouble, she is with her daddy. She is always trying to make sure everyone is safe and protected. Even at 3 years old, she is a little mother hen in her way, kissing the boys' minor injuries when they fell and hurt themselves. She will not like it when the new addition to our family arrives, because then she won't be the only girl anymore. While Xavier has chocolate brown hair like Leja, the other 2 have pitch black hair like I did before it turned white. Chase has green eyes like his daddy, and Xavier has my blue eyes, while Malia has gray eyes. I have no idea where she gets those, but they are so pretty. We have our ups and downs, our morning tantrums. In the hard days, I want to stay in bed, cuddled up with my handsome mate. Luckily, our good days are far more numerous than our bad ones. Waking up next to all my smiling kids, playing in the garden, movie nights with all our friends, chasing our dreams. I am proud of the person I have become, and I am pleased to call Leja my mate. He remains as innocently romantic and caring as he was on the first day I saw him. And the most amazing thing is seeing the little parts of Leja and me mixed in our perfectly imperfect kids. Seeing them grow and learn every day is a joy.